What's up, guys? What do you think? I'm kind of creating a temporary man cave here. I had all my mounts out at the city house in my office over there, and I've been moving them here, and I kind of did some painting, just setting up a temporary spot because we're going to build a house here next few years. So I need to have a good little man cave even here at the cabin. So brought them out. A lot of good memories there. So anyway, let's head on outside and talk about what we're gonna do today. All right, let's go. All right, guys, so thanks for joining me in another video. Today we are going to be working on getting our fall food plot seed in the ground. And so the first thing I'm going to be doing is checking in on the plots that I prepared in the summer. So I had done some earlier videos. We did the corn plot, which we'll be checking on today to see how that's doing. The hidden field food plot, which I'm just getting back to right now. And then another section to the north end of the property where we're doing a food plot. So if you recall, we in the hidden field food plot where I'm at right now, and you could see actually the Egyptian wheatgrass is shooting up really nice, which is creating a nice screen for us down along this southern edge of the plot. And then we have a stand down there. So what we'll do is when we access this stand, we'll actually go behind this tree line, and then we'll have additional cover with the Egyptian wheatgrass so we can get to that stand. Just in case there's anything out here, there's some bedding that drops off that point, which we did some hinge cutting. We knocked some big trees down just to start bringing more cover up on that side. So we should be able to get into that stand pretty quietly without any issues. Now what I really wanted to check on was how our buckwheat was doing, because we had broadcasted the buckwheat into standing rye and clover, and then we crimped it down, if you remember. Now, just coming back here, and I haven't been back here in a couple weeks, the buckwheat's not doing too great. Look, as you can take a look here, you could see it, all the little white flowers out there where the buckwheat is. The buckwheat is like maybe 6 to 12 inches tall. We got some weeds and stuff coming up too, but not too much. It's mainly the buckwheat, and I could see the clover shooting up pretty good. So we've got a lot of clover in here still, which is nice. So when I broadcasted this buckwheat and then crimped over the standing rye, we had a little bit of rain right after that, which was perfect. But then there was quite a few weeks of just drought-like conditions, no rain at all. So I think that has a lot to do with why this buckwheat didn't get up too high. We just started getting rain in the last couple of weeks, but we're already into mid-August, so we really need to get our fall food plot in the ground. So the plan was to broadcast the fall food plot seed into the standing buckwheat and the clover, and if any rye started to come up, and then crimp that down and have a nice mulch layer. But this is definitely not crimpable. So let's just take a walk through here and just see what it's looking like. So you can see the clover came up really good. And then the buckwheat is just not that tall. Like I said, it's 6 to 12 inches maybe. But there's a ton of clover. The clover's doing good. The clover started coming up. So down this end, the Egyptian wheatgrass doesn't look like it's doing too good either. So the Egyptian wheatgrass looks good here, but down this way, it doesn't look like it really took off. So that's kind of a problem. The nice thing is our stand's down here, and we'll be able to slip in behind it and get up in the stand from there. I was really hoping to have the Egyptian wheatgrass kind of like it is down here shooting up over here, but look at this. It's kind of odd. I don't know why it wouldn't grow as well right here, because it's getting pretty much the same amount of sun. But again, we haven't had a lot of rain. We haven't really had rain at all. Yeah, this is really where we needed this to grow up much better. So I don't know if it's going to come up well or not. We had rain this morning. We've had rain over the past week, So this stuff is probably higher than it was. But yeah, we got to stand up here. So it's kind of out in the open, but the plan was to have this Egyptian wheatgrass get up like last year. It was upwards of 14 feet tall over in here along this edge. I mean, the lowest stuff was, you know, 6 to 8. The tall stuff was about, you know, 10 to 14. So I don't know if this stuff's going to take off. You could see it coming up here, and it's bizarre how well it came up down there. So one thing that is getting a little more sun, where the sun starts to come up out to the east here. So you got all this cover from these big oaks. So maybe it's a combination of the sun, right, is not hitting this as long as it is that stuff. But we're just gonna have to work with it. I don't like to hunt food plot edges that often. If I'm gonna take a doe, I'll sit here. It is a good spot to sit during the heat of the rut, because historically, based on the activity up here, those bucks do come up. They cruise right up out of this whole section here, and they'll cruise right up through here. They like to cross into my neighbors right there and right down there. So it's a good spot, but we'll just have to see how it pans out, right? It's the Egyptian wheatgrass just is not looking good right here, but we'll see. Maybe we'll be surprised. This has got plenty of time to keep growing. If we can at least get that up, if we can get that stuff even 8 feet tall right here, it'd be great. But if not, oh well. Anything would be nice, because you see if a deer's out there, right, which they tend to come up over here, right there, and right there. That's the main areas they come up, just based on my experience and knowledge of this area. Sometimes right here. So we do got good cover, because we got oaks in here, and some of these hickories will hold their leaves for a while. And this stands in a hickory over here, so we might be okay. And if we can get this stuff even 5-6 feet tall, we might have enough cover to effectively hunt that stand. The other reason I like this stand right here is because my father-in-law, he's going on 81 this year. He just got his knee replaced, and he might be hunting out here this year with us. He still climbs up in the stands. He'll only usually climb ladder stands. So this one, easy to get to, close to the cabin, easy walk, and he at least has a spot to hunt. So that's another reason I have this here. Here's the other plot. So the buckwheat, same thing. The buckwheat's only really coming up 6 to 12 inches. Pretty much like the first plot we looked at. So this one ain't looking too great either. How about that? I guess I'm not surprised. Again, it's some clover, the buckwheat, and some weeds. So I think we're gonna have to do a little disking in here, broadcast the seed, and get it packed into the ground. So I think overall, the plan is to do a little disking on both of the hunting plots. Get that seed on the ground. Just do our best to get that in the ground. Get good seed soil contact. Pray for more rain, right? We're trying different things. We're trying to do these plots without herbicide, which doesn't help either, right? It's so much simpler with that, but I'm not going to use it. So we're figuring it out, and then that's part of the fun, right? This ain't serious stuff, right? It's just all fun. So the nice thing is these plots, once you could really get them established with these different cover crops, then they'll start to do better and better year after year. Some of these plots, I'm just starting them this year. Some of them I started last year. And so there's going to be trial and error. And again, we're just going to have fun with it. That's all that matters. We're just having fun, right? And hopefully we'll provide some food for the local deer herd, the turkeys, the birds and the bees, and have some good hunting opportunities, right? That's the plan. And then improve this soil with the different stuff that we're putting down. So, all right. So next step is to pull the old disc out and start disking. Let's do it. Okay, so I got the disc hooked up, got the old tractor full of gas. It's time to do some disking, baby. Let's get the stogie lit. Got me another Camacho. Don't know if you could hear the thunder to the north of us. Doesn't look like it's going to hit us. There's kind of scattered showers and storms in the area. So I'm hoping to get this disking done pretty good and then get the seed on the ground. I wouldn't mind the rain after. So I got my latte back here. Got the disc, got my stogie. It's time to go. Let's do it. Starting to rain a bit. We're making pretty good progress. I didn't think we were going to get hit by rain, but it's raining, baby. We're going to keep going, though. All right, guys, so we got the plot dished up pretty good. It dished up pretty easy. I got stung by a yellow jacket. It's crazy how many yellow jackets are out here. This year in general has been terrible for yellow jackets. I don't know if you guys are experiencing that, but they're just everywhere. We had 3 different nests at the cabin that we had to take care of. We had a nest in the ground, the driveway we had to take care of. But just in general, the yellow jackets are just everywhere. And I got stung back here. I got off the tractor. I got a pile of stuff that got caught up in the disc, and I stepped in there and kind of was moving it, and I got stung in the ankle. And it's not that there's any nest in the ground right here. They're just everywhere. I could see, I don't know if you see any of them, but there's just like dozens of them just flying all over, like everywhere I disc. They're flying around, so it's kind of a pain. But I'm getting to the point where there's a lot of the stuff that I crimped earlier this year is getting caught up in the disc. So it looks pretty good. We disked it up pretty good. Soil's nice and soft, so we'll be able to get the seed in the ground real well. But I need to get this thing unclogged, so I'm gonna go get a shovel and then pull the disc out of here, and then I'll come back and broadcast the seed. I'm still hearing thunder. We did get a little rain, got a little wet, and then the sun came out real quick. But we're gonna have to unclog this. Yeah, we're cooking steaks tonight too, so maybe we'll I don't even know what time it is. Let's see, the sun's up here. It's still probably mid-afternoon. But Big T brought some steaks. Babies are probably napping right now. It's just crazy. Look at all these yellow jackets. I don't know if you can see them. Can you see them on the camera? They're just randomly flying around. There's not a nest or anything right here. But if you were to just walk around everywhere I dished up, they're just flying everywhere. It's just crazy how many there are this year. So morning, folks. It is Sunday. So we got the field disked up here, the hidden field food plot. Let me just go ahead and show you. It looks good. It looks good out there. It disked up really well, pretty easy. In fact, I was walking back here to grab some stuff I left laying here yesterday, and it was a couple hours before dark. It was probably an hour before dark. And as I was getting back here, there was like 30 turkey in here and a whole murder of crows. It was just crazy how many birds were in here. A lot of turkey, so that was kind of cool. But anyway, the disc, as I kind of showed you, it was all clogged up. The reason it got clogged up was because a bunch of those discs broke on the inside end of that one piece, and it's just not usable anymore. So I'm glad we got this disced up for the most part. I bought that disc for 25 bucks off my farmer neighbor, but the thing's just falling apart. So it came in handy the last couple of years. I've used it a lot. It worked really well, but it's pretty much on its last leg. So for the other food plot, I'm gonna have to use, I have a compact disc that you could use with the ATV. It works okay. You got to add a lot of extra weight for it to really cut the dirt, and it just takes longer. So we're gonna have to use that for the next plot here later in the video. But I brought my food plot seed out. So today we're gonna be broadcasting the seed here. And then I'm also going to broadcast some fertilizer specifically for this Egyptian wheatgrass. And I'm gonna broadcast it heavy on that end where it's not growing as well, to hope to give it a little extra kick here for the last, you know, 6 to 8 weeks of growing before it gets too cold, and at least try to give us a little more cover on that end. So that's the solution for that. We'll see if it works. Other than that, we're going to broadcast the seed, and then we'll head over and disc up the next plot with the other disc that I have and see if we can get that seed on the ground too. I'm also going to be cultipacking it with the Packer Max cultipacker, making sure we got good seed soil contact. But this soil, I mean, it's nice and fluffy. It should be pretty easy to get that seed down in there. So it'll work out pretty good, I think. I'm excited for the way the disking went. So I think we're going to have a good fall food plot. Even though I wasn't able to do my plan of crimping, it's no big deal. We just came in, disced it up. So we're going to see how this seed works out. So let's open this seed up. I'll show you what we're working with. So this is green cover, and this has got a lot of different seeds. It's a blend. So let's take a look at what we got here. This is their fall blend. There we go. I'll tell you what all we got in here. So we got radish. We got smart radish, purple top turnips, cereal rye, spring oats, black oats, Austrian winter peas, Kentucky Pride Crimson Clover that's pre-coated, inoculated. We have another clover, Balansa Clover. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And then Balady Berseem Clover. These are all pre-inoculated. And then we have buckwheat. So that's a great seed blend. That's a great seed blend. So I'm excited to get that stuff on the ground, see how it grows up this this fall for us. So let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, the seed looks nice. All right, look at that. Yes. Okay. Let's load it up and get on out. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and broadcast this pretty heavy. I got 70 pounds that I'm doing right here on this particular. This is close to a ½ acre, so it's a lot heavier than normal, but because of the situation we're in, they recommend about 100 pounds per acre. I have 140 pounds, and I have close to an acre altogether, so I'm just doing 140 pounds for the whole acre. So we'll do 70 pounds here, 70 pounds on the other plot, and that should be good. So it's going to be nice and heavy, so even if we lose some seed or we don't get it down in the soil good enough, then we should have enough on there to give us a decent food plot. So let's go ahead and get it broadcasted. Got most of this bag empty, so I'm just going to fill up since I made a loop here. We'll get the rest going. Alright guys, we got the cultipacker all loaded up. We broadcasted 70 pounds of our food plot seed, and then I broadcasted a heavy amount of fertilizer on that Egyptian wheatgrass where it wasn't coming up real well. So hopefully that'll help it out. Let's get to cultipacking. Here we go, baby. Time to cultipack. Alright guys, this couldn't be better timing. It's starting to drizzle just a little bit. There were some scattered showers in the forecast, and we're out here cultipacking the seed in, and there's actually just a little bit. I felt some raindrops, so I'm hoping we get a downpour like we did yesterday. Fingers crossed. All right, I'm gonna keep at it, hoping for rain. All All right, so I was cultipacking out here and it's going pretty well, but I decided that I'm gonna start to drag first. I'm gonna use the drag harrow. I just wanna make sure the seed gets covered good enough. So I'm gonna do a drag and then cultipack it after that. All right, so we got the drag harrow hooked up. We're gonna go ahead and get to dragging. Get that seed covered, baby! Let's drag. We're almost done cultipacking this, and it didn't end up raining at all like I was hoping, but I could see looks like some dark clouds moving in. I haven't checked the forecast, but I'm hoping that might have some rain. What better time than right after you cultipack it than to have some rain come down? That'd be pretty awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish a couple more laps here. I'm going to drop the cultipacker off at the next food plot. Probably check in on the fam, grab some more coffee, maybe a latte, and then we're gonna grab the other disc. Got to grab some concrete blocks to weigh that sucker down and start hitting that other field and aim at getting that one done today, and then we'll be done with our fall food plots for the most part. So let's pray for rain. There's some darkness, there's some wind coming, so maybe we'll have a little rain to put on this seed. All right, guys, perfect timing. The hunting gods are with us on this food plot. It's starting to rain right now. It's actually coming down. See, the windshield's getting wet. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but these dark clouds are moving in. So we got some rain, baby. We got some rain. The hunting gods are with us. We're gonna get a boon this year, baby, a boon. All right, let's continue on. Loving it. All right, guys, the rain's coming down. I was just coming to grab some of these concrete blocks. We're gonna need them for the smaller compact disc I have that we'll be using the ATV for. Oh, this rain's coming down heavy. What better timing than to get that seed in the ground, get it cultipacked in, and then have it rain like this. So I'm gonna go take a break after I load these up, and we'll see if we could hit this other food plot up, depending on how wet the ground gets. But it's raining, baby, it's raining. All right, guys, so I'm back at it today working on the other food plot I have that altogether is about a half acre, and we finished up the other one yesterday and had the rain right away, so that was perfect. The hidden plot, we got rain, we got a couple big downpours. It was awesome. And then I actually went scouting. Since this was all wet, I didn't want to come back and disc it up, so I did some scouting, which I made another video on, some Ohio public land. Had an interesting find there, an even more interesting turnout from that find. Bizarre. You got to go check that video out. Anyway, I wanted to show you what I'm doing. So my other disc had fallen apart pretty much. It was really old, rusted disc, and it was starting to fall apart. So I kind of parked that thing and retired it. But I have this small DR Power disc. It's real small and compact. It actually works pretty good. The only problem I've noticed so far is that it takes a heck of a lot longer. The angle on the disc isn't that great, so you don't got a real aggressive angle to really disc the soil up, and it needs more weight, right? You could see I got 3 blocks there. It still could probably use more weight than that. So it did pretty good discing this field up. You could see right here there's a lot of duff on the top, so I'm going to do a little more disking with this, and then I'm going to drag with the drag harrow to try to uncover that soil a little bit before I broadcast the rest of my seed. But it's a beautiful day. It's only in the 60s today. We've actually had a little bit of sprinkles come down, but no major rain. So hopefully if the rain comes, it comes after I put the seed down. So I'm going to do a little more disking. I thought I'd run the video, let you see what this thing looks like when I'm disking. The nice thing with this disc is you could fly. You could go fast, but it definitely takes much longer. It's a lot smaller, obviously, It just doesn't have the aggressiveness of that big old disc that I had with the tractor. So let's go ahead and do a little more discing. Video, the disc went rolling around, flipping over, tumbling over. It landed standing upright, which is nice. I thought I'd broken it when I first walked up, but it looks like this actually slipped off. So this must have got loosened over time. It just holds on right there, and it caused it to slide and flip off, but it didn't break at all. And then some of my blocks went flying. So I think we're gonna stop disking now. It's actually disced up pretty good. You can see I did quite a few rounds in here. Now there is a lot of duff on the ground. You see that? A lot of this stuff. So there is good soil available, but there's a lot of this duff. So I'm gonna drag with the drag harrow for a little while and see if we could just uncover the soil a little bit more, get a little more soil exposure before we come in and broadcast. But I got all the seed in the truck, so after we drag a little bit, I'm going to broadcast another 70 pounds in here, and we'll be done with the fall food plots, and we'll just have to pray for more rain, which feels like it's going to rain more. So I'm going to try to get this done as quickly as possible. All right, guys, we are all done. We just finished cultipacking food plot. Looks pretty good, don't you think? Not bad. There's still quite a bit of duff on there, but we got a lot of exposed soil. We got the seed down, we dragged it, and then we cultipacked it. So I think we're doing pretty good here. I feel pretty good about it. We put a lot of seed down. We got a lot of different varieties of seeds, so we should be good. It's been raining off and on, so even better. So hopefully we get more rain now to get the seed to germinate. We're about 8 to 9 weeks out from the first average frost date, which is about mid-October here in this part of Ohio. So good timing. We didn't get it in too early. Shouldn't be too late. So as long as the weather cooperates, we get some more rain, we should be good. So we'll see how it turns out. Again, just to reiterate, our intention was to do no-till, no herbicide this year. We had to do a little tillage, right? Sometimes you just got to do that to get things going. Now this plot, in the other plot, I didn't do any tillage on until just recently because our cover crop, the buckwheat and the rye, didn't take off, and I think it was mostly because of the drought-like conditions we had shortly after I broadcasted it and crimped it. So that's okay. We did a little bit of tillage, some dragging, cultipacking, so I think we got the seed in good, and we'll see how it turns out. Again, moving into next year, once you can get that cycle and that rotation going with the cover crops, then, and you're going to continue to use the same food plots, then we could eventually get to a point where we don't have to do any tillage at all. We didn't use any herbicide this year, which I'm excited about. So we're working towards that no-till, no herbicide method of getting our food plots in, and we'll just continue to work at it. So it's all good times, good fun, experimenting, having a good time. So hopefully you guys like the video, and see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.